Hey there, welcome back to the 30 Day Year podcast. Today we're talking about permission and why it's okay to want more, because we love to think that we can't have more. And we wrap it up in all of these constructs like duty and family and all these things. And we want to kind of like bust that whole narrative apart and give people their rights back through this conversation. Like, you have the right. You can give yourself permission to want more, and it's perfectly healthy. It's perfectly normal. So I know when it comes to a 30-day year, I was very skeptical. And I started to kind of think back to that time, like 9 years ago, when I was very skeptical, to understand what was like really going on, like below the surface. Like, why would I be so skeptical, right? Like, what's the big deal, right? It's just someone offering an idea. So why is this so, rattling? And I think it was because I felt that I wasn't allowed to want that much. It felt like greedy. I also felt that perhaps a life that big was for other people, but not me. So who am I to like be that person? I felt that wanting that much was also unethical, potentially, or immoral, meaning that there was like this connection to wealth or earning a lot of money that is negative, and it means that I am, taking from others in some weird way, when that's not the case at all, and we can discuss that later. And I just didn't have permission or belief in wanting more. And even though if I really asked myself, I would have wanted more.
So we all want more.
Yeah. So it's a very strange thing that if we really are honest with ourselves, sure, we want more. We want more, even if to just give back to our families, or we want more ways to express ourselves, or we want more.
We're programmed to want more.
Yes. And it's okay. And that's the thing. And you're allowed. And we have the belief that we're not allowed. We have the belief that it's for others, but not us. We have the belief that it means we're bad people, but it doesn't mean that at all. So I know that I dealt with this and felt these ways before, and had to reconcile a lot of that over a number of years. So it wasn't like a Band-Aid fix. It wasn't something that healed itself quickly. It was like many things had to transpire in order to kind of reveal to myself that this is okay. So I don't know if today's pod will completely change your life overnight, but I hope that it starts to like tilt the steering wheel toward a different route for you, that you can start to accept more into your life, and you're okay to do that. So to kick off, I just want your opening thoughts on permission when it comes to going for a 30-day year. And how can we give ourselves permission to just say, yes, I'm going to even just go for it, let alone achieve it?
Yeah. It's interesting because when I first made the decision to pursue a 30-day year and turn my annual income into my monthly income, that idea, I did like it. Like, I liked it. That's why I was like, yeah, I'm going to decide to do
this.
Yeah,
you thought it was sexy. I thought it was scary.
Yeah.
Very different
you
reactions.
Thought it was like, like you thought it was
preposterous.
Yeah, ridiculous, right? Right? Like, it is not common for people to pursue goals like that.
Yes. And it's more common for them to think like me, more so
yes,
skeptical.
Your form of thinking is very common.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very.
Is that like a weird like insult?
Yeah, common folk.
It's like a super weird insult. Yeah, okay.
You're like a pilgrim or whatever, a peasant person.
I'm not from the new age thinkers. I'm old thought.
Yeah, peasant consciousness.
Okay.
Anyway, so I like that idea. So when I came across that idea, when that idea was presented to me, I really did like it.
Yeah.
And it was shocking. So I did give myself permission to do it. It was a fight, but I did give myself permission.
Yeah.
But what came later, as I started to progress through that, endeavoring to change my life and have a 30-day year, what came up was crazy. All the other areas that I wasn't giving myself permission, or I didn't know if I could give myself permission. And when we think about the word permission, you have to get to the root word, which is mission.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you get an idea, if you don't give yourself permission, that idea, you do not go on that mission. If you're loving this content, remember to hit the like and subscribe button and help us get this 30-day year message out. So you're really wrestling with, am I allowed to go down this path?
This goal.
And there's three main things that block people from giving themselves permission. The first one is fear. Fear is a corrosive thread that has weaved its way through the fabric of our lives. Like when we get a new idea, when we have fear, so it's like, oh, here's an idea, 30-day year, and boom, I get hit with fear. What's happening is that fear is blocking me from giving myself permission to do that. What is courage? Courage is when you give yourself permission in spite of the fear. So courage isn't like the absence of fear. Courage is that you still give yourself permission to do something even though the fear is still there. Okay? So the first blocker for us as people giving ourselves permission is fear. And there is 6 primary fears, but I'm going to mainly talk about one of them. The number one fear in this world, I used to think it was the fear of poverty, but I am certain now it is the fear of criticism. We have this part of us that we want to be liked, we want to be a part of society.
Yep.
So the fear of criticism, if society turns on us or our loved ones turn on us, or we're attacked in the public or whatever, or misunderstood, like that's terrible thought to happen to us. We recently did a speaker workshop where Heather Morrison was doing some speaking training for a bunch of clients of the charity we are a part of. And we researched that the fear of criticism, we said, what's the number one fear of mankind? And it's the fear of public speaking. But you gotta understand that public speaking is an activity. Underneath public speaking is the fear of criticism.
100%.
Okay?
Yeah, because you're in front of a whole bunch of people expressing yourself. What could be more vulnerable?
What can be more vulnerable?
Yeah.
Right? So the number one fear that stops us, a blocker, is fear. And primarily it is the fear of criticism. This is a huge thing to block us from giving ourselves permission to pursue something great. The second one, what I've found as well, is money. So I get an idea that's bigger than my current reality, like a 30-day year. The first question that went into your mind is like, well, how the hell are you going to do that?
Let me think back. Was it, how the hell am I going to do that? Basically. Yeah, how is that possible?
Yeah.
How is that possible? Because I was trying to fit a massive idea into an existing life, and it just wasn't possible. And that's where the real imagination has to kick in. But I didn't understand that then.
Yeah.
It was just very daunting to think that, oh, my existing life, there's no way my existing life could support that kind of like ambition. No way.
That's right. Yeah. Support that. So usually what people do is like they get an idea and the question will be like, can I afford it? So in the Bible, it says the love of money is the root of all evil. Now, people in the world use that and have all kinds of weird paradigms.
That's where probably I grew up Catholic, and I'm sure a part of that sort of like indoctrination as being in the Catholic Church is like, yeah, it is immoral to want more money. You should be happy with what you've got. Give back to the poor. Like that kind of martyrish kind of vibe.
Which is interesting because every time you go there, they're asking you for money.
Exactly. Because they need a new roof and they need a new mop and they're always looking for cash constantly.
Right. Constantly, right? Because they need it and everyone needs it.
Yeah.
You need a lot of money and you probably need more than you have.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. So money, the love of money is the root of all evil. Well, what does that mean? What does that like Bible quote mean? It means that when you put money on the pedestal over your own growth and expression, that's a sin. So money is the smallest part of your issue. It's, can you accept the idea? Money is without question.
Can you accept the idea of the goal?
Yes. You don't need the money to accept an idea. You don't need money to think.
Correct.
You don't need money to dream.
That's true too.
You don't need money to act. To start in whatever reality that you are currently in. You don't need money to do that. You can start acting right now. Right? If you're a salesperson and you want to make 10 sales, let's say you're a real estate agent, you want to make 10 sales this month, that's your goal.
Yeah.
Well, you can go knocking on doors. There's nothing stopping you from acting. Like take an action in whatever environment that you're currently in. Nothing's stopping you from doing that. You don't need money to do that,
Yeah.
right? So money is a huge blocker from giving ourselves permission. We look at the
Yeah.
money, and permission is support. Is this supported? So if I'm going to go on this mission, if I'm going to consent to this idea, is this idea supported?
Yeah.
So fear will say it's not supported. Kill off the idea. The next one is money. Money will say, oh, well, I don't have enough money. So then kill off the idea. Not understanding that the idea is more powerful than your current financial situation. And the third thing that blocks us from giving ourselves permission is like it's an epidemic. And this one's interesting because it's not talked about very much. Yeah, I view it like this little like evil kind of thing in the shadows, you know. It's like, I don't know, like the Illuminati or something. It's like in the background. It's not getting any press. It's not talked about very much.
Tell me, I'm dying. What is it?
You want to know?
Yeah.
It's guilt.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you about guilt. If you
It's
ever
guilt.
suffered from guilt for wanting more.
Yes, it's very common.
Yeah.
So guilt is a man-made emotion. It's a man-made thing, right? It's man-made. And what it does is it says, if you grow, if you go on this mission, you're going to have to sacrifice, which is true. However, what it says is that your sacrifice is going to harm the people in your life.
Right. Yes.
It's going to harm something.
That's
It's going
what
to
the guilt
harm
says.
God. It's going to harm your kids. It's going to harm your spouse. It's going to harm your family.
Right.
And they need you, right? Like, so you can't go on this mission. And a lot of people, guilt destroys, I would say, well, these are the top three. I would say it's way up there.
Yeah.
Like right close to fear
Yeah.
on destroying dreams. A lot of people do not give themselves permission because of guilt. But they
Yeah.
don't realize that's what it is.
How do we overcome that?
Education. Got to understand what
And
you're
courage.
dealing with. Yeah, courage. And something to be courageous for. You know, when you have, we hear stories of people that were in poverty that got out into mediocrity. And I've met some of these people. And it's so interesting because the same power that took them from poverty into mediocrity, like back into a contributing person in society, is the exact same power that could bring them up to wealth. But so many people stop there. Why did they make those moves? Well, because the thinking and the goal was to get out of their current situation into like a steady, comfortable life. Not understanding that the same power could make you take you from mediocrity into greatness, but that's not what happens. That's not what people's goal is. So they never give themselves permission to do it. There's all kinds of thoughts, Jacq, that you're not even aware of, that you could give yourself permission to engage with and improve your life exponentially.
The funny thing is, it's like, yes. But then you don't know what you don't know. And it's always down to that. You don't know. And I always ask this question, what don't I know that's holding me back? And the problem is I don't know. And so it's so interesting. And how do we just keep ourselves in a state of openness and willingness, you know, like looking for those opportunities and knowing the difference between the opportunities that present themselves, because there's definitely some that are better than others. And there's information out there that is better than certain information. And how do we know we're on the right path?
Like, oh, how do you know if you're on the right path?
Yeah. How can we start to trust what's being delivered to us? Because I feel like I'm a bit in that flow right now a little bit. It's like I'm going for something big. We have big goals. We have big dreams. We have like things we want. And so it's like, how can I, and you know, I've heard you say, and I've heard others say, like Bob say, like, trust what you're attracting. And so I'm in a constant state of like looking at what I am attracting. And like, is it looking very familiar from the past? And is like, what is that telling me? And what's coming in to sort of like help me navigate this? And honestly, like just a teeny bit, I'm starting to not trust myself as much. Not in and not in like a super hardcore negative way. I think it's good. I'm just questioning myself.
Your confidence getting
It's not confidence. No, I don't feel less confident, but I just feel that I'm questioning more.
yourself or the
Yeah,
world,
questioning the
or
ideas I'm getting and the world too.
what do you mean ideas you're getting?
If I get ideas, I'm questioning if it's coming from the new place or an old place.
Oh,
And I think it's good. I think questioning is good. So maybe it's not that I'm not trusting myself. I'm questioning more because I'm not lacking and I still feel confident.
well, if you feel so confident, then you probably need to start doing something bigger.
Probably. Oh man. Don't put me on the spot. Now I have to like take more chances. That sucks, Dave. Um,
Wah, wah.
wah, wah. Okay. So what shifts occurred mentally for you to see yourself differently and start giving yourself permission? Do you got any like
So
what did it
I
for you?
okay. So I view the reason I like the idea of goal setting as a foundational part of a individual's life or my own life is because I view my subconscious mind, I view my mind like a bowl of water.
Mm-hmm.
And as I start putting bigger ice cubes into the water, it'll displace some of the existing water.
Yeah.
And what I'm doing is I'm displacing beliefs.
Mm.
That's what I think that the goal and the way that I teach it and how I personally am using it is to displace all those limiting beliefs that are in my sub. So it's like as I put
Yeah.
bigger chunks of water in or ice cube in or drop it into the bowl, it displaces more. So it's not about the goal because I already know what the goal was. Like when I started doing this, it was the goal of earning $100,000 a month. So that's not, I'm aware of that. But then 31 months of becoming aware of like my own belief system. I remember when I realized I was like, whoa, I have conflict between money and spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, in my programming, I had this belief that they had no place with each other. Like they were antagonistic.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to reconcile that. I had to harmonize that. So when you're starting to become a goal setter and a goal achiever, and you're endeavoring with this 30-year philosophy, understand that it's not about the goal itself. Then it's about what is this goal telling you? What's this goal telling you need to change? So it's all that like slowly and gradually you just become more aware. I realized I had guilt. Along that 31-month journey, I realized I had a self-worth problem. I never knew I had a self-worth problem when I set the goal.
Yeah.
I never knew I had a fear, an issue between spirituality and money when I set that goal.
Yeah.
I never realized I had a bad attitude
Yeah.
when I set that goal.
Yeah.
I never realized that I was selfish. Parts of me were selfish. I never realized that. I had no clue.
You know, there was such a great quote from Sarah Blakely recently online, and I'll try to summarize it the best I can. I shared it because it was really hit. But she said, entrepreneurship is like the best therapy you can buy. Because
Show you who you are.
it shows you who you are, and it shows you like it shows up like in pricing, it shows your limitation and lack, and it shows up when you're hiring people and your fear of criticism, and it shows you every defect because you're the boss, you're the driver of the whole thing. And I was like, damn, she's so right. It's exactly what you're saying. Like the goal revealed everything you had to work on and had to work through. It's like the best therapy you can buy.
Yeah, it really is.
It really
Yeah.
is. Like nothing will refine you in the same way
Yeah.
than that.
So you'll hear me say like, ask the question like, why is there so little faith and belief in the world? Well,
Yeah.
because we're not setting goals that require us to have
To
more
have
faith.
it. Yeah. Makes
Right?
sense.
Why is there so little courage in the world? Well, because we're not going after things that actually require it.
Yeah. We're amazed when we see it.
That's right. So this is
Like the
I'm
guy
gonna,
scaling the building in Asia a few weeks back there.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a weird one, but what a gimmick. So I want to repeat this one more time. When I set the goal of having a 30-day year, I did not know I had a bad attitude. I did not know that I had self-worth problem.
Can you explain the bad attitude piece? Like, what do you mean by you had a bad attitude? Like you were
I had a
negative toward
I had a general negative perception of the
life.
world and life. Yeah.
Okay, just generally
Yep.
negative.
Yep. Negative.
Interesting.
What's that called? Pessimistic.
Okay, cup is half empty, not half full.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. 100%. If you lived how I lived and were doing a job you didn't like for 15 years in a city you didn't like and the weather you didn't like, yeah, you're going to become a pessimistic guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're fighting against something that is real and it's getting into you.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know that. I didn't know that I had issues with money and spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea about that.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't know that parts of me were very selfish. I didn't know that I didn't know how to dress very well.
Mm.
I didn't know that, you know, like I didn't know how to shave my face. I didn't know any of this stuff. I just was like, I got the idea.
God.
So the idea never changed for 31 months. So what changed? It took 31 months for me to become aware of all the things that had to go if I was ever going to produce that.
Basically 3 years.
Yes. So when you start, so it's like if you look at the word permission, it's like it really is a mission. Like that put me on a 31-month mission to uncover all of my own limitation
Yeah.
and ignorance.
Yeah.
And once that limitation and ignorance was like called out or revealed or moved through, then I was earning $100,000 a month.
So it was just like a constant, it was like you're coming against it all the time. It wasn't a one and done thing. Like this permission thing.
Constantly.
It was like constant.
Yeah. And this is the beauty. So when we give ourselves permission, the key to giving yourself permission is desire. Like you really have to want that thing. Like you have to want to sacrifice. You have to want to give up what is real. Like in this world, this is real, right? Like this is real.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're going to give up what is real, like the money in your bank account. That's real. That's how much you have.
Yeah.
Right? For this etherical dream thought. Like thinking's not real. Don't be a fool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't be a fool. Like, you're going to give up this is real.
Right.
For this?
For something etherical. Yeah.
Yes. So now you're going to start to realize why so few people ever make change in their life. And even fewer ever create like exponential change. Because you're going to trade what you have for something that's not real. Just a thought. You're going to rely on your own self. Most people don't even trust themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, let's say you have a person who doesn't trust himself. Well, what is it they don't have a higher power, a power that they can trust either? So a lot of people have a higher power, just they don't trust it. So a lot of people have a God.
They don't rely on it.
They don't
see it
trust
as
it. Yeah,
real.
that's right.
Don't believe,
That's
perhaps.
right. Yeah. Well, they say they do, but look at their results. Like I've asked people, do you believe in God? And they're like, yeah. And I say, could have fooled me. Because your behavior doesn't reflect that you do. People say they have faith. Really? Look at your behavior. Nothing in your behavior reflects that you have faith at all. Would you like to earn more cash in your business? I'd like to help you with my free 21-day Money Momentum Challenge. We're going to rewire your mind, turn you into a money magnet, and start to increase your income. Click the link below and get started. The paradigm in this permission stuff is always making your dreams smaller. People very rarely give themselves permission to actually pursue anything great.
So I have a bit of a scenario for you. So I want you to give us, it's kind of like a mindset that we can adopt instead of maybe what is common. Because you told me I was a commoner. Was that on this that you told me I was a commoner in this show, didn't you? That I had common thoughts. And I feel that, and hey, no shame. If I have common thoughts, that's okay. That means that maybe others have common thoughts.
That's a common thought thing that a common
person would say.
Would tell themselves. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so I'm on brand. Okay, so all right. So my question is that, you know, we grow up and then we enter the workforce. You know, there's like a big transition as you grow up and you go to school, you get a job, all this stuff, right? And as I look at it, there's like a bit of a reality check that comes with that, where it's like, I got to earn an income to survive. And, you know, I don't mess around with like childhood dreaming anymore. It's like, got to get serious. There's like a seriousness perhaps that comes in. The realities of like taking care of yourself perhaps kick in. And so you maybe just do the work that you know works. So, and you can observe that, you know, what have I observed around me that creates a good or a decent life? It makes a lot of sense, you know, like you see families of lawyers or families of doctors or like fifth generation teachers, or like people kind of follow the family path, right? Because they know it and they know it works to create a life. And I think in lots of instances that can be great because maybe they have the aptitude for it and the skill for it and they love it and it's fulfilling. And I think that that's good. If people are fulfilled by their work, I think that that's a good thing. But I don't think that's the case for everyone, especially those that are going to be attracted to this like 30-day year idea. And so my question is, well, what are the ideas and beliefs that we should entertain for ourselves to build our lives instead of just like observing what is happening around us to create a good life? What's a better mindset to have?
Take me deeper on that.
Well, like, just like if imagine yourself as like you worked in construction for all those years. That's probably because it was in your life. It was demonstrated to you as a way to earn an income.
Yes.
But in that moment, what should you have done? How can we like guide ourselves better towards what we're actually well suited for?
You cannot outperform your environment. Like if your environment,
You're challenging the common thinkers right now. Just keep that in mind.
okay, you cannot outperform your environment.
Yeah.
All of your information has come from your environment. So like I get asked, what do you do for a living? Or, I was at the chiropractor the other day and it said, what do you do for a living? I write speaker on there.
Mm-hmm.
And people ask me in person, hey, what do you do for a living? I say, I'm a speaker. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, what is that? It's so uncommon.
It is very uncommon.
It's a very uncommon profession. Most people aren't even aware that it is a profession. Or if I say, oh, I'm a speaker, I'm an educator on mindset. And they're like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Never heard of that. Yeah. So that's because it's not in their environment. You get all of your information from your environment. So it's kind of weird to say, what should I have done? Well, I wouldn't have been able to do anything because I was unaware of it.
Mm-hmm. But I think like for the purposes of our conversation though, right? If people are listening and it's like, okay, well, I think that this is the way to make a successful life. I think you can even just as simple as giving yourself permission that it can be different. You can think differently about it. It doesn't have to just fall into this path that you have maybe been programmed or your environment has told you that you should have. It can deviate. There can be force.
And when you deviate from it,
there could be
you
conflict.
will have huge conflict. No, there not could be.
Yeah,
there will be massive conflict.
Yeah,
because nobody in your environment is familiar with what you're doing.
Yeah,
you're like a dangerous person all of a sudden to the ecosystem. So people start talking about you behind your back, gossip about you, misunderstand you.
Mm-hmm.
Some people will tell you straight up. Some of your relationships will collapse. You might start having conflict at home if you give yourself permission to pursue it. And then that thought alone, for an intelligent person, that thought alone will stop them from ever even engaging in making the changes
Avoiding
in the first place.
conflict avoidance.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Like I remember doing a sales call once with a guy a few years ago. This is probably like 6-7 years ago. And I never saw him. I was on the phone, so I don't know what he looks like. And I still to this day like have so much respect for this guy, because at that time I was selling consultancy opportunities with Bob Proctor, and it was like $30,000 to become a consultant with Bob Proctor. And at the end, like this guy wanted to do it. Like he was a pretty intelligent guy. And at the end, he's like, I don't think I can do it. But he wanted to do it. So he was kind of wrestling,
Sure, yeah.
And he's like, I don't think I can do it. And I said, well, why not? Why don't you just give yourself permission to do it? And he said, I know what people are like. I'm going to be misunderstood, and then people are going to be judging me and talking all this BS about me, and all I'm doing is trying to help them, but they're not going to know that. And this is not for me.
Right.
And I think he's the only person that I ever spoke to that just said the truth.
Yeah.
Other people like make up excuses and lies
100%.
and blah, blah, blah. And there's other reasons. This guy was intelligent enough to know what he was getting into too.
Right. He knew what was coming for him. And he was like, no.
He basically said, I just don't want that much disruption in my life.
Right.
So he's like, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. I said, I respect that.
It's fair.
Yeah.
It showed a lot of awareness.
Yeah. Ton of words. And he is right.
Yeah.
A lot of times,
100%.
and I see it too on the other side where people give themselves permission to go for a 30-day year or go for that goal, and then all of the all that stuff comes in, all the discomfort, all the challenges come in,
Yeah.
and then they don't adapt to that. So they thought that it would just be like some skipping through the meadow, right? Like if you're really going to go on a mission, like look at like Lord of the Rings, right? Like here's Frodo and not Gandhi, Gandalf. Gandalf is so wise, he gives him flipping someone even stronger than Frodo.
Sam?
Yeah. Sam's the real
Yeah.
power. He's the
Yeah.
real
He
power,
saved his
the
butt
supporter.
so many times. It's crazy.
He is the power. Like he
Yeah.
is like Frodo
Yeah.
had been done without him.
Yeah.
And they did help each other, but Sam never deviated.
Right.
He never deviated.
Yeah.
It was Sam's will that got that ring. Here's a spoiler alert, but it's a very old story. Got the ring into Mordor.
Yeah.
Sam's will did that,
Yeah.
not Frodo,
Mm-hmm.
because it was too heavy for Frodo. So when you start on a mission to do a 30-day year, understand that is immense amount of change.
Yeah. It's not going to fit into the existing life.
No.
It just won't. And that's like one of the biggest things to be aware of up front is that if you're trying to fit a huge 12x into your existing life, like just be aware that it's probably going to all disintegrate and then it'll have to be rebuilt.
Yeah. That's why you really got to want it.
You really got to want it.
Yeah, because acts of courage don't just happen once. You have to have an act of courage. Oh, so this permission stuff, it's like, yeah, I gave myself permission to have a 30-day year, but then I had to give myself permission to let go of my self-worth issues. Then I had to give myself permission to let go of resentment. Then I had to give myself permission to let go of selfishness. And
For sure.
I had to give myself permission to let go of a bad attitude. Like, what? Like, you're going to give up your bad attitude for a good attitude?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. Well, yeah, you have to.
Mm-hmm. Have to. Back to just a quick little story about, so you had that guy who said, no, I don't want to do the consultancy because I don't want to have like my ass handed to me by the world because it's going to be so hard for me to like break through the noise and to like for people to actually
His words
understand.
are, I know what people are like.
I know what people are like. I just want to like back that guy up for a quick sec because you were a lot easier to market for as a sales coach than a mindset coach.
I was easier to market for as a sales coach than a mindset coach?
Yes.
Okay.
Tell us much more difficult because to his point, people just don't want to hear it. Or it's difficult to communicate the value of better thinking than it is to communicate the value of learning how to sell better.
Yeah.
It's just so different. And I'm up for the challenge. I have been for many years. And I think that we're doing it in a way that feels aligned with who we are. And I think that's the most important part is that you can do it from a place that feels like you're in integrity with the message. I do feel like we do that. But I get it. I get what he's saying. It's tough.
Yeah.
You can feel the energy when people are talking bad about what you're trying to do and all you're trying to do is help. When your people are on your side, you can feel that too. It's just the forever persistence test is always coming at you.
Always.
Yeah. And can you stay focused on what it is that you know to be true and focus on the goal and know what it's going to take, that it is really about service. It's not about money and just keeping your mind in that lane.
Yeah. So yeah, the word permission is the root of it is mission.
Yeah.
So
permission to even persist when the world's against you.
Yeah. And I think Lord of the Rings is an incredible story around that because they get the permission. So he's consenting and permission are the same thing. So when you consent to an idea, you become a disciple of that idea and that idea will discipline you. So if saving the world or Middle Earth was what had to be done, right out the gate, they were in trouble. Right out the gate, the ring race were coming into Bag End. Right out the gate was Frodo getting when they went through the forest. Right out the gate.
Yeah.
Challenge after challenge after challenge after challenge, and it's like Mother Nature or life, not Mother Nature, but life makes everybody pass the persistence test.
I always like when you say the universe won't reveal her secrets to a wimp.
She will not. She doesn't want a wimp representing her.
Yeah. No,
like, who do you want to be educated by? A wimp, a spineless jellyfish, or a wise person?
Yeah.
I remember talking to a guy once where I was like, I don't trust you because you haven't had your nose broke enough. Who can take and keep getting and going?
Yeah.
So a lot of people start on the mission. They maybe get through the first idea, the first challenge, constant.
Constant. Yeah. Okay. I have one more scenario before we kind of like wrap up, which is kind of like the polarity of the person that needs the permission, the person that maybe has too much permission. So, like, for example, they're going for it, and maybe a bit of the ego takes over, and maybe they start just acting a little, as I like to say, like delulu. Maybe there's like a bit of overconfidence. They actually can get defensive as well because they're so locked on to a belief that they believe is propelling them forward, but they've lost their openness and willingness, and they've like kind of got these barriers up, and they can almost like lose touch with reality. And it's almost it's have they gone too far astray when it comes to permission, or is it something else? Does that make sense?
I think a lot. Well, I don't know. Depend if when these people produce results, we
Right.
got no problem with them,
Yes.
right? So like a
Sure.
crazy,
Good results, I guess.
yeah, if a
Yeah.
crazy artist ends up becoming world famous, and they are crazy, um, we celebrate these people. Like these are the people that really you do know about. They're the obsessive,
That's true.
crazy people. They really are. Like that's why a lot of their marriages fall apart because who can live with them, right?
Yeah.
So it's so weird because in the modern world, we worship a lot of these highly successful people. Now business people and fitness people and science people are the new gods, So we worship these people. But really, like you would never be able to survive these people because they're so obsessive. They're extreme people.
Probably quite difficult.
Yeah. But if this lunatic person is not successful, then we judge them.
Medicate them.
Yeah, medicate
Yeah.
them, right? So it's interesting because I think people need either an ego bursting. People need two things. They need either an ego bursting or an ego boosting.
Right.
So some people I try and encourage them. Some people I try and get them to quit.
Interesting. It is, and just to your point, it's very rare to meet someone like right in the middle.
Very rare to meet a
Very
balanced
rare
person.
to meet a balanced person.
Yeah.
We're either skewing one way or the other. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's for every human being
Yeah.
follows like
Yeah.
that.
There's like a scale there that
Yeah.
we kind of are.
Yeah, so it's kind of an
Yeah.
interesting question because, yeah, you got the lunatic artist, let's say.
Yeah.
If they're successful, we worship them. If they're
Sure.
unsuccessful, we throw them, we think they're total fools.
Right. Well, it's just like it's the polarity, right? Most of us are scared to say yes to do something, and then there's the other side of the spectrum that's perfectly fine with it.
Yeah, I also
Yeah.
view it like this. Like, so some people have strong imaginations, some people have stronger wills.
Right.
So it's easier to work with a person with a stronger will than it is with a
Weak
with a
imagination.
strong. Yeah, it's easier to work with a person with a strong will and a weak imagination
Yeah.
than it is to work with a person that's highly imaginative with no discipline and will.
Right.
Because those people don't really produce much. So I view it like a kite.
Mm-hmm.
So you dream, and the dream and the magic and the beauty's all in the kite. That's the imagination.
Mm-hmm.
But without the strings, plain old strings holding that imagination, that kite is never
not-
doing anything.
it's just floating
worthwhile.
off.
Yeah, it would just be on the ground even. Like,
Yeah.
so it's the will, it's that will that keeps that beauty moving. So it's a dance between both
Sides
parts,
of
yes.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like that analogy. It makes a lot of sense for sure. Okay. So, what would you say to the folks listening today that need an ego boosting today, that are looking for a little bit more confidence or trust or belief, that want to give themselves permission, that are maybe struggling to do that?
I don't know you personally, but I do know something about you because you're a human being. I guarantee you that you have the power to produce something greater than you currently are. Mind is always superior to circumstance. So whatever it is that you truly want to do, you can do it if you got the will to do it.
Agreed.
So you have the idea. Now it's time for the will.
And the other thing to keep in mind as well when it comes to permission is that people's lives will get better because you took a chance rather than worse.
Yeah.
If you're willing to see it through and kind of use the things that you just said, exercising the imagination and the will, balancing out your kind of that ego scale that we talked about as well. If you're just focusing in the right direction and you're willing to try and you're willing to be courageous, people's lives will get better because of that.
Yep. Because as you expand, you're going to find other people's expand. So with these three, with fear, with money, and with guilt, these are all illusions. These aren't real.
Yep. Nobody benefits when you play small.
No.
Nobody.
No.
When you just play games and stall.
Give yourself permission to say yes.
If this podcast is opening your eyes to powerful new ideas, helping you think bigger, and opening your level of awareness, be sure to hit subscribe right now and leave us a 5-star review. That will help us reach more ambitious people just like you ready to grow.